Not that I don't think taxes should go to families that need it. I think we need reform of the programs in which tax dollars are allocated to help families. For instance, Section 8. Section 8 is a great leg up for some families, right? Section 8 should not be able to be passed down to your kids and they pass it down to their kids.
For sure.
That promotes you staying exactly where you are, because the deterrent is if you make too much, you're going to have to pay this high-ass rent that everybody else is paying.
Got out of a meeting with my DHS caseworker, and she is threatening me once again to take everything unless I go and get a job. I explained to her I can't go and get a job. Actually, it's not even that I can't. It's that I do not want to. I have been on welfare for 13 years. 13 years I have been on Section 8, so I haven't had to pay rent. Okay? Food stamps, cash assistance, disability. I don't even know how a job works. Okay? I don't want to work. That is the whole point. I don't want to work. I told her she is not going to take my food stamps. She is not going to take my Section 8. And I'm still not going to work. You trying to get me to work and me refusing is a you problem. It's not a me problem. I will continue to sit at home on my ass while the taxpayers work and support me and my children. Because if you are in America and you pay taxes, that is your responsibility.
What's going on, ARP family? Appreciate you guys pulling up this morning, man. I hope all is well with you all. Hope you guys enjoying the weekend. We got this compilation video. People are going off about this Section 8 situation. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it.
I want to say this, and I don't know who it's for, but I know that it needs to be said. If you're on Section 8 and you've never one day in your life thought about getting off of Section 8, you've never said, I want to buy a house, I want to move from here, I want something bigger, and you've never actively worked towards those goals, you're a gutter rat. You're a loser. Why are you comfortable with that? You know you could get something nicer, right? If you go to work, you know that you could actually live where you want to live. You know your income doesn't have to be capped, right? These Section 8 recipients and low-income housing recipients are what's wrong with the program. There's nothing wrong with help. I think that's what you guys are missing, because what happens is a lot of Section 8 girls will get on here and start cussing me out, and they'll be in the restricted comments. Why are you cussing me out? You need to be cussing yourself out. That you don't have any goals for your children. That your children have no generational wealth, and they'll probably never go on vacation either. That your children's dreams are capped on a voucher.
Can I just say something? Section 8 is not a legacy. That is something you do not want to leave for your damn children. Focus on getting yourself together. Some people have been on Section 8 for 10, 20, 30 years. Then their children, That ain't no legacy. Creating a business and passing a business on to your children, now that's a legacy. Focus on home ownership, something for yourself. So then they can't come and take nothing from you, because the government get ready to shut all that down. It ain't going to be no food stamps. It ain't going to be no Section 8. It ain't going to be none of that. It's for young, able-bodied people. Now, for seniors and disabled people, yes, they need it. Let them have it. But for young people who are able to get up and go to work, man, make some shit happen and get off that shit, because it ain't going to be there for you. And you don't want that type of legacy for your family, no way. Really?
God bless this sister right here, and she's absolutely right. It's not a legacy. And the reality of it is this. If you spend 20, 30 years on Section 8, you pass away, you have nothing to leave to your children. Now as a man, our responsibility, is to, obviously provide for our families, but also leave something behind for them. The word says a man that doesn't take care of his family is less than an infidel, less than an unbeliever. And, that means while they're here, and when you leave here, you should leave a little something for them and for the previous generation. And it's honestly, it's a trap. It's a trap, and it's a satanic, demonic trap, because the devil doesn't want you to have anything. And they hope that you take these little trinkets. They hope that you take this, because once you do that, you are in complete control. You are in bondage to the powers that be that give you these things. They tell you how much you can make. They tell you where you can stay. They tell you how many people you can have in your home. They have complete control of your life. Why would you want to live a life like that? I just don't understand it.
I personally don't agree with a lot of things Trump is saying, but this one specific thing makes sense to me. To all the people that's on Section 8, he is giving y'all 2 years to get on your feet. Trump said stop being dependent and become independent. I agree. I'm not no hating ass. I'm not knocking nobody's situation. But if you really think about it, Section 8 is only to assist you to get on your feet. Section 8 is a stepping stone to get you on your feet. Section 8 is not something you should depend on for the rest of your life. Government assistance is not something you should depend on for the rest of your life. Keyword, assistance, to assist you. Y'all done got too comfortable. Too comfortable. There's people that's been on Section 8 for like 10 plus years. That's a long time. Within that amount of time, you should have a lot of money saved up in your bank account, in your savings account. Y'all too busy buying the newest shoes, buying the hottest cars, trying to keep up with the trend, buying designer purses, buying designer clothes, but you're in public housing. If you can buy designers, you can pay your house rent without assistance. Let that sink in. If you can buy designers, you can pay your house rent without assistance. I mean, I get it. There's a lot of single mothers out here also that need those type of assistance. But if you just comfortably living off Section 8 and don't care, that's crazy to me. That's the reason why nobody else can get in, because y'all be on Section 8 for years. Y'all not thinking outside the box. Y'all being so dependent. Stop being so dependent and let's become independent.
Yeah. Now, these are the people that will tell us that they strong, that they independent, they don't need a man, they can do this on their own. And these are people with a voucher for rent, and that EBT card for food for their children. And they continue to go out here and make poor choices, have children by the wrong men. And I think some of it's just on purpose because they know, hey, the government will be my husband and take care of me. And that's got to stop. Now, with President Trump getting rid of a lot of these illegal immigrants, there's going to open up some opportunities for able-bodied people to take a lot of these positions that a lot of these folks, have had, maybe working under the table and things of that nature. So it's not going to be a situation where there's not going to be positions out there. But what's crazy is you have people that are on the system that feel like certain jobs are beneath them. They feel like certain jobs are beneath them. They're too good, to go do some labor at construction. They're too good, to go work at the hotels and clean rooms and things of that nature. They got their nose up in the air. They think that they're better than what they actually are. And it's ridiculous. That's something that needs to stop.
To you people up here that's not on Section 8, not on public housing assistance, congratulations, okay? You got it together. You know what I'm saying? You did the dang on thing. You went to school. You got educated. I'm one person that do have education, okay? Did I graduate high school? I had complications in school? Yes. The answer is yes. Do I have some type of college education level? Yes, I do. Okay, I want to fast forward to this. Does not mean that I ended up making that type of money. You know what I'm saying? With everything going the way that it's going, and I'm speaking for the Section 8 issue that's going on, where he's talking about no more Section 8, no more food stamps and all this other stuff, okay? I want to speak on that I do not get Section 8. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on Section 8. You know what I'm saying? I am on public housing assistance, and however, let me clear that up. It took a while before I even applied for public housing assistance because I'm in between jobs like crazy. I've been paying market rent all my life before anybody say, yeah, she just saying that because she on public housing assistance and she just doing that because she trying to milk the system for life. No, my goal was not to milk the system for life, but it did help me temporary because I will be moving. Let me put this on here. I will be moving back out and back into market rent apartments, okay? But there are some people, everybody ain't just passing through like me. There are some people that cannot afford, like me, to move off of Section 8, okay? I know people that got 5+ kids. They cannot afford that. And whatever choices that they made that was poorly, that is on them. Nobody is walking this earth is perfect, man. It is some rude, ignorant ass people on here that's talking about, oh, I hope it get cut off. Really? Really? Just because you living in your house and you making your little money and you know what I'm saying, you just mad that you never approved to get it. Is that what it is? That you mad that they had caught a break and you didn't catch a break? Is that what that was? I got a problem with people like that. Just because those aren't my children biologically and I did not birth them, I do not want to see a single child put out their home just because my hardships in life as an adult. Just because I didn't catch a break. I had to pay market rent too. Okay? Before, mind you, I only had this for about a year and a half now. I ain't had this all my life. I didn't even know what that felt like, honey. I've been paying market rent, literally market rent all my life.
Okay, and you want a cookie for being an adult and doing what you're supposed to do as an adult. As you sit there with your eyebrows done up, you know, some form of wig, weave, something going on your head, and your nails look like they are freshly done, and you spent some paper on that. But yet, you want to sit here and lecture us about, you know, the hardships that people are going through that are self-inflicted. We ain't tell these women to go out here and have 4 or 5 kids by 4 or 5 different women. We ain't tell these kids to choose, or these women to go out here and choose poorly. And unfortunately for the children, you don't get to choose your parents. We don't get to choose our parents, and we don't get to choose, you know, what they do with their money. The problem isn't the fact that y'all own the system. The problem is that y'all think y'all deserve to be on the system, and y'all don't want to improve. I mean, in most other countries, when you make a poor choice or decision like that, your family has to pick up the slack. In this country, when you make a poor choice or decision like that, all of us have to pick up the slack for your shortcomings, for your bad choices, for your bad decisions. And a lot of us are sick and tired of it. Hey, I am all about supporting our senior citizens. I'm all about supporting our people in this country that suffer from disabilities. I'm all about it. But able-bodied people. This lady says she graduated high school. I'm assuming that she probably didn't take that seriously. She has some college. I'm assuming that she didn't take that seriously. She's made some poor choices in her life. And Lord knows, I have as well. But at what point do you have to do what is best for you and stop depending on other people, you know, for your survival? And if you don't want anybody to say anything to you about what you got going on, get off of public assistance. Get off of the taxpayers' dime.
Cause what the fuck is wrong with Section 8? When did that become such a bad thing? Like, it's good over here. Run me that Section 8 immediately. Give it to me now. Like, what are we talking about? Like, are y'all cool? Are y'all okay? Y'all care so much about what people think, how people feel. Do you know what type of houses people are getting on Section 8? Are y'all cool? Y'all are not okay. Like, please give me the Section 8. Is the list open? Is the list, like, what? Run me that. I don't care. I will get that shit tattooed on my cheek. I got Section 8. Y'all crazy.
I just don't understand why people would get on, you know, a platform like this with bonnet, you know, and a nightgown on or something along those lines. And I just don't understand why people would do this, man. And then we'll get mad, you know, when you say anything about it.
You literally could go get a job and actually afford unsubsidized rent, not being subsidized by the taxpayer. You could go do that. You are literally choosing not to because you want to build your business. Why the are you allowed to leech off the taxpayer?
I'm not leeching off of anybody.
Yes,
and
you
I
are.
have tried.
Tried what?
My last job, I had a really bad situation
Tell.
where I was interviewing men in particular, and every time I got on the screen with them, they got their little willies out and started whacking him.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have you translate that one. Every what's our plan? Putting 30 hours a week into education that we can't define or explain?
There is a plan.
Okay. Now it sounds like a presidential debate.
I'm trying.
What's your
I
try?
I have plans on finding a job.
Follow financial clips for more.
You literally could.
It's not that I don't think taxes should go to families that need it. I think we need reform of the programs in which tax dollars are allocated to help families. For instance, Section 8. Section 8 is a great leg up for some families, right? Section 8 should not be able to be passed down to your kids and they pass it down to their kids.
For sure.
That promotes you staying exactly where you are because the deterrent is if you make too much, you're going to have to pay this high ass rent that everybody else is paying.
Yeah.
So you need to stay below this level. You need to stay in poverty. You need to not advance so that you can live easy.
Well, I don't think people choose to be impoverished, though.
Not everybody chooses it, but you and I both know there are a great deal of folks who do. And I think that reform is needed because there are too many families who need these resources but can't get them because they make too much or because certain demographics in the household don't allow it, whatever. But you have people who are openly taking advantage of said system. I don't think that's fair.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you. There may be, I can't even say maybe, there are people that abuse that system. But when we look at like percentages, I don't think that's a big enough percentage of us for say, okay, we're about to stop these people.
1,000% a big enough percentage. Again, if Section 8 can be passed down generationally, that's an issue. That's where I would start.
Absolutely. She's absolutely right. And shout out to Michaela. She's absolutely right. First off, you shouldn't be able to pass down Section 8. That shouldn't be a willable thing. Let's just keep it a buck. You can will your house, you can will your car, you can will, your stock portfolio, but public housing, nah, you shouldn't be able to do that. You shouldn't be able to do that. And the reality of it is this: there's a lot of people that have been and that are currently abusing this system. We know this, we all know it. The other thing is you have a lot of women that are on the system that have turned down marriages to good dudes because they were afraid of losing those benefits by getting married. And they didn't have that safety net that, hey, if this doesn't work, I'm going to have to go all the way back through that process, risk maybe not getting whatever those benefits are. And they've turned down good dudes. They've turned down marriages. They've turned down relationships with their children's father for the system. I know some people like that personally. It has happened. There are some people out there that have made that decision. And the reality of it is this: for kids, you don't get to choose your parents. If you're a senior citizen and you find yourself in a situation and you need some help, I'm about helping those people. All of our disabled people, whether they're children, veterans, so forth and so on, I think we should assist and we should help them. I get that, people find themselves in a situation where they're in hard times and they need some assistance. I'm actually okay with that, but it's got to be a cap and there's got to be a game plan towards getting you proper skill set so you can take care of yourself, helping you to get a job, so forth and so on. One of the things that I would like to see this administration do is tie government contracts to training people that lack skills. So maybe, if there's a, large government contract, actually any government contract out there, depending on how big it is, maybe you say, hey, you got to train, 5% or 10% of the workforce. And you got to take some of these people that are on the system and you got to take some of these people that are low skilled workers and put them on a government contract, give them the proper tools and training and things of that nature and help pull these people out. Lord knows we have a lot of government contracts out there. And if you could tie it to that, I think that's a good idea. The other thing is, kicking this thing back to the States, in the States with the unemployment, it should be tied. If you're on state assistance, it should be tied also to unemployment and helping you gain the proper skill sets needed so you can go out here and be a productive citizen. And then slowly but surely start weaning you off. Now, I don't think that, hey, you get a full-time job, we immediately snatch your benefits. No. I think if you're on it, we can give you 2 years. Hey, we are that first year that you make money. The goal is that you're stacking some money up. Yeah, you can stay on this, on assistance and subsidize, everything, but you should be stacking some money up. Year 2, we're going to take some of that. We're going to take some of that money and we're going to slowly but surely wean you off. And we're going to have some people in here that's responsible to help you find a place so you can move on and you can go on about your business and become a productive citizen in this country. We got to do better. There's got to be some reform there, and we got to do better to make sure that our people are not just on the system, in perpetuity. That it's a cap, but it's not just a cap. You get 2 years with no assistance. No, it's a cap. It's 2 years, and we're going to teach you some things, and we're going to make sure that you're better today or better tomorrow than you were yesterday when you got on assistance. But I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about this. Like, share, subscribe, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Join us tomorrow, Monday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. That show happens Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Come join us. Join the ARP family, or you can buy your brother a coffee. Link in the description box below. Keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth. Words so sharp, they